everybody to another episode of Moguls in the Making. Today we have a very special guest here with us that's going to be sharing his story for the last 5 to 7 years and how he's been able to accumulate massive wealth through investing in real estate here in the city of Hamilton. His name is Adrian Pannozzo, a.k.a. Mr. Cashflow, and I'm very excited to get this started and have him share the story. Hey, Adrian. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, not a problem. So we'll just get right started. You can tell us, our viewers, a little bit more about yourself and what got you started into real estate investing.
So I started investing in Hamilton about just over 6 years now, and the reason I started investing in Hamilton was specifically for the cash flow. Hamilton, you're able to pay off all your expenses with your income property, and typically you're able to cash flow. So that's really what brought me to Hamilton just over 6 years ago. And since then, we've been able to accumulate through properties we own on our own, as well as properties we've joint ventured on. We've been able to accumulate just over 100 doors over the course of the 6 years.
Nice. So I hear that you have a little nickname that you like to go by here in Hamilton. You want to share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that kind of started a couple years ago. I kind of was dubbed Mr. Cashflow. And I guess it just came from predominantly all of my properties here in Hamilton area all produce very generous cash flows. And hence came the nickname Mr. Cashflow.
Nice. So tell us what it is about your properties that tend to generate more than what the regular market rents could be here now.
So typically what we do, we try to outfit our apartments more on the higher end, if you will. So quality finishings will go above and beyond, and ultimately those finishings will be able to generate us above market rents. So for a normal 2-bedroom apartment in this area, for example, would go, typically maybe $1,000 a month, plus hydro. Typically our 2-bedrooms start at $1,400 a month. And it's just, I think, the level of quality and finishings we outfit our apartments with.
Okay. So you mentioned you've been doing this for about 6 years now.
Right.
So throughout the time in your experience, what would you say was the most challenging thing that you faced?
Okay. I guess getting started 6 years ago, I really didn't know Hamilton. I'm predominantly a north end. I was born and raised up in the north end of the city, close to Barrie, Ontario. So coming to Hamilton and starting this income property investing, really didn't know anybody here, didn't have any connections out here, didn't have any contractors. Basically, jumped in with both feet and prayed that it would all work out. Essentially it did, and here we are just about 7 years later. So I guess just the fear of the unknowns and really not knowing the ins and outs of income properties, dealing with tenants, generating good rents, cash flows, so on and so forth. That was my biggest challenge, which ultimately, obviously, I overcame through time and experience and making mistakes and learning from them.
Okay, great. And if there was one message that you would send to our viewers, possibly somebody that's looking to get started, they're on the fence about it, what would that message be?
There's no better time, in my opinion, and there's no perfect time, in my opinion, to get into real estate and real estate investing. It definitely, Hamilton is by far, in my opinion, one of the best cities to invest in with respect to real estate. You get so much more for your money out here in Hamilton, and we're able to attract very good tenants, paying very good rents, and obviously generating good cash flow. So what would I say to them? Get into the market. It's also important to surround yourself with a good group of people, professional people, people that have the experience and have done these things before. So ultimately, networking is very, very important, because I never had that when I started, and now I kind of know both sides of the coin, how valuable networking and having those strong people around you.
I think that's terrific advice that you're giving out to the people out there. So again, we really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us and giving us the insight into how you process things and how you have been able to accumulate long-term wealth in the last 5 years.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you guys for joining us here with another episode of Moguls in the Making. We always want to hear back from you guys, so give us some feedback. Leave a comment in the comment section and tell us how you enjoyed their show. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. Our information is also below, so you can get in touch with us at any time. And if you want to speak directly to Mr. Cashflow and get in touch with him and pick his brain, again, reach out to us, send us an email, and we will make sure that happens. So stay tuned, and we'll have lots of more information coming your way.